written in 1888. It first appeared in the San Francisco Examiner newspaper. But it really became a part of American popular culture when it was performed on the vaudeville stage in the early years of the 20th century. Casey at the Bat reminds us that although a lot of things in the world have changed over the past 130 years, some things don't change very much, and baseball is one of them. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but an inning left to play. So when Cooney died at first and Burroughs did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A scattered few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal within the human breast. For they thought, if only Casey could take a crack at that, they'd put down even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, and also Jimmy Blake, and the former was a Lulu and the latter was a cake. So upon the stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let fly a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had settled and they saw what had occurred, there was Blakey safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from the 5,000 throats and more went up a mighty yell. It thundered, it rattled in the hillside, it rumbled in the dell, it thundered on the mountains and resounded on the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his cap. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped them on his shirt. And as the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And then the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, but Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar like the beating of the storm waves on a stirred and distant shore. Kill him, kill the umpire, shouted someone on the stand. And it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Casey still ignored it. And the umpire said, strike two. Fraud, cried the maddened thousands, and the echo answered, fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. They knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher has the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. A band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.